Not seeing my videos in your subscription feed? Make sure you've clicked the little bell next to the subscribe button to be notified of all my newest uploads.
Hey, what's up people? Pizzal here in front of the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre shrine here in the man cave. The man cave is slowly but surely coming together, and version 2.0 of the man cave will be revealed very, very shortly. That video is coming just right around the corner, so keep your eyes peeled. Today I've got an enormous DVD and Blu-ray update for you guys. I haven't done one of these since November of last year, and the titles have just about overwhelmed me. I've got so much to go through here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the very first Blu-ray. It's actually a Blu-ray box set, a very nice Blu-ray box set from the folks over at Arrow Video. This is the Hellraiser, the Scarlet box set. I did a full up close and personal guided tour of this release with all of the accoutrements inside of it, discussed all the extras, etc., etc. Go check out that video for a full up close and personal look at this awesome release from the folks over at Arrow. And I do believe this release is now, this is the US version, by the way, the Region A version, and I do believe that this set is now out of print. So glad I got this, and I literally waited to just about the last minute, but I'm glad I was able to get this and add it to my collection. Great release. Next up, we have got some, we've got some Criterion Blu-rays here. I did two different Yay It's Mail Day videos. One, which was just a Criterion exclusive Yay It's Mail Day video, in which I unpackaged the Scanners Blu-ray release from the fine folks over at the Criterion Collection. Lots of extras on here. I haven't had a chance to dive into this release and check it out, but yeah, very, very nice release from the folks over at the Criterion Collection. Next up, Videodrome. Do you guys see a pattern here? Videodrome from the Criterion Collection Blu-ray. Lots of nice extras on here too. I like this side here. It looks like a little writing there on the spine. The label there looks really cool. Sorry, it was upside down. And last but not least, Naked Lunch. It was a David Cronenberg exclusive Criterion Collection Blu-ray unboxing, unpackaging for that Yay It's Mail Day video. Yeah, so got 3 Criterion Collection Blu-rays on sale for half off during Criterion's last flash sale. Could not pass it up. I also got Rosemary's Baby. I actually got this off of Amazon. They had it listed for, it was like 11 bucks, 15 bucks. It was under 20 bucks. Anytime you can get your hands on a Criterion Collection Blu-ray for under 20 bucks, grab it. And I hadn't seen this movie in a long time. I went back, I rewatched it, and it's Rosemary's Baby. It's Roman Polanski's classic Rosemary's Baby. Lots of extras on it. Really nice release from the folks over at Criterion Collection. Next up, we have got the Synapse Films Blu-ray for Dario Argento's Tenebrae. I love Tenebrae. This release has a really nice documentary on it entitled Yellow Fever, The Rise and Fall of the Giallo. Feature-length documentary all about Italian Giallo movies. Really nice extra on this release, and this is a great release from the fine folks over at Synapse Films. Picture quality, sound quality, of course, as with just about every Synapse Films release, looks impeccable. Great release. Next up, we have got from the folks over at Severin Films. I did a full movie and Blu-ray review of this Blu-ray release for the 70s sleaze, grindhouse, drive-in era, slasher, drive-in massacre, co-written by the late great George Buck Flower. Go check out that video for a full review of the movie and this release from the fine folks over at Severin. I also did a mini review of this release, also from the fine folks over at Severin, excuse me, Return of Kung Fu. This is a Blu-ray compilation of trailers for Kung Fu films. It includes 35 original trailers from the golden age of martial arts cinema, starring such legends as Angela Mao, Bolo Young, Don Wong, Chang Yi, Bruce Lee, not Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee, Lian Lu, Lo Lei, and even Chuck Norris. This is a lot of fun. If you like vintage old school trailers, or if you are a fan of the martial arts films from this era, this is definitely something to look into from the fine folks over at Severin. Next up, this is a Vestron Video Collector's Series Blu-ray release. I did a full review of the movie and of this release, so for a detailed review of the movie and of this Blu-ray release, go check out that video. But this is for the 80s classic, The Gate. Really nice release here from the folks over at Vestron Video. Their collector series is really, they're making a name for themselves. They're releasing a lot of great titles, and I highly recommend this one as well. If you're a fan of The Gate, definitely this is worth an upgrade. Lots of great extras on here. All the extras from the old Lionsgate DVD release have been ported over. Lots of new extras. The picture quality and sound quality both look fantastic. This is a really good release. Next up, and I picked this up off of Amazon for like $9. People are very mixed on this movie. I personally didn't have a problem with it. It was a little messy. I did a full review of it. Go check out that review back when it was first released in theaters. This is the extended cut of The Suicide Squad. And yeah, some nice extras on here. Really haven't had a chance to dive into this Blu-ray just yet. But again, it was $10. And yeah, personally, I enjoyed the movie. I know a lot of people hated it. Some people really, really hated it. I had a fun time with it in the theater, The Suicide Squad. Next up, actually had a viewer of mine send me this Blu-ray. Your name escapes me at the moment, but I will definitely give you props and a little annotation here. So thank you very much for sending me this Blu-ray. This is the 3-disc Arrow Video Blu-ray release for Blood Rage. I did a full review of the movie and of this awesome release. This is a movie, as much as I love slasher movies, and you guys know I love slasher movies, particularly 80s slasher movies, this is one that had just flown under my radar for years and years and years. I'd kind of heard of it here and there, but I really hadn't, you know, taken the steps to seek the movie out and watch it. And after watching this movie for the first time, I kicked myself because this is an awesome 80s slasher movie. It's so much fun. Phenomenal practical effects in the movie. I love this movie, and this is a fantastic release. This 3-disc version, I do believe, is now out of print, but you can get the 2-disc version wherever Blu-rays are sold. I highly recommend it. This is an awesome movie, and this is an awesome release from the folks over at Arrow. Next up, from the folks over at Welgo USA, Train to Busan. I did a full review of this movie and of this Blu-ray release, so go check out that video for a full review of the movie and of this Blu-ray release. I really love Train to Busan. It was one of my favorite movies from last year, and yeah, this is a pretty good Blu-ray release for the film. Next up, we have got You're So Cool, Brewster, The Story of Fright Night. This is, if you're a fan of Fright Night and Fright Night 2, you definitely want to get your hands on this documentary. What's it, like 5 hours or something of everything you could possibly want to know about the making of Fright Night and Fright Night 2, with interviews from just about everybody from the first Fright Night movie and interviews from a lot of key people from Fright Night Part 2. I highly recommend it. I did a full review of this release. Go check out that video for a full review of this awesome release from the folks over at, let's see, who released this? Goodness gracious, Cult Screenings UK. Kudos for a great release here. Yeah, if you're a fan of Fright Night and Fright Night 2, you definitely want to seek this thing out. They're currently working on a RoboCop documentary, and I can't wait to get my hands on that. Next up, got this off of Amazon for, I think it was $9.99. Salem's Lot. This is the Tobe Hooper television version of the movie. I love this movie. I prefer it to the Rob Lowe television movie that came out several years ago. I know a lot of people really liked that version. I like it too, but this one to me just always stands out. I've loved this movie since I was a kid, and just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Love me some Tobe Hooper's Salem's Lot. Next up, picked this up at Best Buy. I want to say it was like 10 bucks. It's a Best Buy exclusive, part of their Project Pop Art limited edition steelbook collection, and it is for John Carpenter's Christine. The back, not had a chance to open this bad boy up yet, but we've got deleted scenes, commentary with John Carpenter and Keith Gordon. Christine Ignition, Christine Fast and Furious, Christine Finish Line are the special features on the back. Not sure if any of these were on the DVD release of the movie or not, but yeah, couldn't pass this up. Nice collector's edition Blu-ray steelbook of John Carpenter's Christine. Next up, this is also from the fine folks over at Well Go USA, Phantasm Remastered. I did a full review of this Blu-ray release, so go check out that video for a full review of this Blu-ray release. This was, of course, the 4K restoration of Don Coscarelli's classic Phantasm, supervised by J.J. Abrams, who it turns out was a really big Phantasm fan. Well Go USA is releasing the Phantasm Collection Blu-ray set. It's coming out next month, April 11th, I do believe. Really excited to get my hands on it. It looks awesome. Then Arrow is releasing a Blu-ray set as well. I think it comes out maybe within a month of the Well Go USA. It's got the silver sphere. It looks really cool as well. So Phantasm fans, we've got a lot to look forward to in the coming weeks. And yeah, Phantasm Remastered. Next up, I picked this up off of Amazon as well. I think it was like 9 or 10 bucks, maybe even less. This is the 30th anniversary edition of Highlander, and this is the director's cut of the film. Special features, we've got a making of Highlander, deleted scenes, interview with director Russell Mulcahy and actor Christopher Lambert. We've also got archival interview with actor Christopher Lambert and audio commentary with Russell Mulcahy and a trailer. It's been a while since I've seen Highlander, but this is one of those movies that was just constantly on cable television when I was growing up, and I'd watch it every time. I loved the style. I loved the whole mythology of the immortals, and there can only be one, and the sword fights, and yeah, just really, really cool. What's the dude's name? Let me find him. Oh, goodness. The guy, he was also in Pet Sematary 2. He was in Blue Steel. He plays the villain here. Great villain. I forget his name. I want to add an annotation to show him some props too right here. But yeah, Highlander, looking forward to checking out the director's cut of Highlander on Blu-ray. Let's see, next up, this is from Real Gore. It is the Blu-ray release for The Orphan Killer. I checked this out. I'd heard a lot about this movie. I wasn't a huge fan of it. Unfortunately, this is a good Blu-ray release, though, however, from the folks over at Real Gore. Yeah, just not my cup of tea. But if you like this movie, this is the way to go. It's a pretty good Blu-ray release. Next up from the folks over at Vinegar Syndrome, this is Jack Frost with that awesome lenticular slipcase. Did a full review of this movie and this Blu-ray release back during the holiday season, so go check out that video for a full review of this movie and this great release from the folks over at Vinegar Syndrome. Lots of extras on here, and just this lenticular slipcase, I could just sit and do that for hours. I almost zoned out right there, but yeah, really nice release from the folks over at Vinegar Syndrome. Okay. Next up from the folks over at Umbrella Entertainment, I was so happy that this release was coming out, because up to this point, the only way you could see this movie in Blu-ray is if you were lucky enough to get the Twilight Time release, the limited edition Twilight Time release when it was up for sale, or you were forced to get a price gouged version off of eBay. But this is The Blob. I love this movie. It's the 80s remake from director Chuck Russell. Love this movie. Great Blu-ray release from the folks over at Umbrella. I did a full review of the movie and of the Blu-ray. Go check out that video for a full review of the movie and this Blu-ray. Got some nice extras on here as well. We've got Directing the Blob, an interview with director Chuck Russell, which was really nice. And finally, The Blob on Blu-ray, and it's all region, so it will play on any Blu-ray player. Great release from the folks over at Umbrella Entertainment. Next up, picked this up at a used bookstore for $2. Winter's Bone. This was the movie that kind of introduced the world to Jennifer Lawrence. This is a really, really good movie. Seek this movie out and watch it. I highly, highly recommend it. Great performance from Jennifer Lawrence. There's another actor in here who I think he was actually nominated for an Oscar. Where's his name? John Hawkes. Great performance from him as well. Really good movie. Seek out Winter's Bone and check it out. Next up, pick this up off of Amazon. I want to say it was like 10, 12 bucks. This is the restored edition of American Werewolf in London, and it includes the documentary Beware the Moon feature-length documentary with cast and crew. Haven't had a chance to sit down and open this up and check out that documentary just yet, but definitely am looking forward to it. And of course, it's American Werewolf in London with a newly restored, improved HD picture. Couldn't say no for the price. Yep. Next up, got a couple of releases from Scream Factory. First up, William Peter Blatty's The Exorcist Collector's Edition Blu-ray release. Did a full review of this movie and of both movies on this release, the theatrical version and the director's cut, and talked about all the extras, and the extras are plentiful. 2 discs. I've always been a big fan of The Exorcist 3. I've always wanted to see Peter Blatty's director's cut. I'm glad that I finally did. This is an excellent release from the folks over at Scream Factory. Michael Felsher of Red Shirt Pictures did an excellent job on the extras on here. This is a must-buy, in my opinion. Go check out my standalone video on this release. Next up, got this. My buddy Orc sent this to me back during the Christmas season. This is the collector's edition 2-disc Blu-ray release for The Return of the Living Dead. So thank you, Orc. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're on the mend. We definitely miss you over on the Sausage Factory. And thanks so much for sending me The Return of the Living Dead 2-disc collector's edition Blu-ray of Return of the Living Dead for the holidays. Really appreciate it. Like that cover art there. Beautiful stuff. And lots and lots of extras. Nice release. So that does it for the Blu-rays. Let's talk about the DVDs, because DVD is represented in this update. Pick this up for 95 cents at a used bookstore. American Splendor with Paul Giamatti. This is the story of, what's the artist's name? Harvey Pekar. I've heard really good things about this movie. I've not seen it before, but definitely looking forward to sitting down and checking it out. And it was 95 cents, so couldn't say no. Next up, I also picked this up at a used bookstore. It's been so long since I've seen this movie. This is a movie that was on Cinemax like all the freaking time. Cyborg 2, starring a young Angelina Jolie. It also stars Jack Palance and Elias Koteas, and I love Elias Koteas, great actor. I don't remember a thing about this movie really, but it was $2 and I couldn't say no. It was one of those movies, like I said, constantly on Cinemax, and I watched it several times. Yeah, oh, it's even got the Lionsgate little catalog still inside. Very nice. Couldn't pass it up. Couldn't say no. Cyborg 2. Next up, a release from Umbrella Entertainment. This is Beyond the Gate. Did a review of this movie when this release first came out. I was not a fan. I really wanted to like this movie. The idea behind this movie, the plot of this movie sounded really cool. The execution, however, was a bit off, let's just say. But yeah, this is the DVD release from Umbrella Entertainment. And last but not least, I picked this up again, used bookstore. They actually didn't have this in the horror section, which is probably how it had survived there for so long. They had it in the music DVD section. But this is the, and I love this movie. I did a review of it back for my series of Halloween themed reviews back during Halloween of last year. So go check out that video for a full review of Trick or Treat. Heavy metal and horror, a match made in hell. And this is just such a fun movie. It's funny, on the back of it, they've actually got Kevin Yagher like on the back as if he's an actor in the movie, like that's a scene from the movie. But there's Kevin Yagher like doing a, is that even a scene from the movie? Is that creature even in the movie? I don't know if that creature's even in this movie. It could be. I'm not sure, but that doesn't look like a creature that was in this movie. But yeah, this is long out of print. This has actually become kind of a difficult movie to track down unless you bootleg it. No extras on here. This movie deserves a really nice Blu-ray release with some killer extras. Such a fun movie. And don't be fooled. Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne. Gene Simmons is in the movie for maybe 3 minutes. Ozzy Osbourne's in the movie for maybe 30 seconds. But because they're on so prominently displayed here on the cover at this used bookstore that I frequent, they actually put this in the music DVD section and not in the horror section. And that's probably how it had survived so long and somebody hadn't come along and snatched it. And it was like $1, $2, something like that. So I was like, yeah, this is quite a find. So glad I finally own the official DVD release of Trick or Treat. So that concludes my enormous Blu-ray update. I always say I'm going to not take such a long hiatus between updates so I don't keep doing these 20+ minute long DVD and Blu-ray updates, but I don't know. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.